Hello, good evening. This is Brother Benson Media. We're also live on our sister channel, Kikao na Sauti. Allow me to take this opportunity to welcome everyone and once again to remind you that over here we do say that your opinion counts. Before I start, allow me to just welcome our good friend Brother Msimamo, naye atuambie siku yake imekuwa vipi. It's been a while, for like 2 days we've not had a chance to to continue with the conversation, but today at least we thank God, being on a Sunday, that we are back again. Msimamo, I'll give you a chance to say hi as we start the show.
Okay, asante sana ndugu yangu Mark kwa nafasi na fursa hii ya kipekee kuweza kukutana tena hapa. Ni kweli tangia juzi hatujapata nafasi ya kuweza kukutana na kujadili yalivyo. Unajua ni harakati za hapa na pale, lakini kwa kila ilivyo pia tumshukuru Jalali kwa kukutana tena hapa. Kwa kweli najisikia mwenye busara, mwenye imani kabisa. Kwa hiyo niko tayari kakamaka kudadavua yale ambayo tutajaliwa, na pia ni walai ndugu zetu wale ambao wanatufuatilia, ni washukuru pia kwa kutenga muda wao pengine haswa, na pia wale wanakaa kwa comment section pia. Basi tuliendeleze lilivyo, maana hakuna pengine, ni papa hapa kwetu kwa Brother Benson Media ndipo ambapo tutayajadili yale ambayo yanafungamana na taifa letu kama ada, kama dawa. Back to ndugu yangu Mark, asante.
Okay, thank you so much, Bwana Msimamo, for finding time. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of Paul Kisiangas at the comment section. Thank you so much, Paul, for finding time to join us this evening. We really appreciate your presence over here. And today I want us to just have a look at what had happened, where we saw the governor, Murang'a Governor Irungu Kang'ata, joining the Linda Mwananchi team led by Edwin Sifuna, Babu, James Orengo. We also saw the former LSK president, Faith Odhiambo, was also present. That, amongst others, are part of what we want to discuss tonight. And I want to take this opportunity to remind our viewers that they can participate by giving us their comment, either asking or giving us your views in the comment section. And, before we proceed, once again, over here we say that your opinion counts. And I'll get straight to the introduction of our topic today, where the Kenyan's political theater is alive and restless. Restless. From Thika to Kakamega, we saw them again in Bungoma, in Kitale, in Trans Nzoia County. Also, we've also seen some airstrip in Imenti and the court orders. We've also seen the fuel prices dipping slightly. The stories are many, and of course the stakes are also high. And so tonight we dive into the Linda Mwananchi rally, the opposition camp, the fiery words from Atwoli, and the growing cries against the Kenyan political leaders, as well as the issues of goon. So I want to remind our viewers that they stay tuned as we get into this discussion tonight. And before that, allow me once again to remind our viewers that this is Brother Benson Media, and we're also live at our sister channel Kikao na Sauti. And straight to the conversation, the Linda Mwananchi team, or the Linda Mwananchi rally in Thika, we saw quite a number of leaders. The Thika rally was more than just another gathering. It was a statement. Murang'a governor stepped forward, pledging his weight to the movement. His words carried the promise of fresh energy and the regional influence. We also saw Faith, the former LSK president, joined in a powerful symbol that the legal fraternity is not just watching from the sideline, but stepping into the arena. Then came the conversation moment where Babu, Sifuna, Orengo, and the entire team of seasoned politicians standing shoulder to shoulder. What we saw was something that can describe unity on display. But unity is not just about leaders on stage, it's about people in the crowd. So my question to you, Bwana Msimamo, does unity across diverse leaders strengthen opposition credibility with the presence of Murang'a governor, the presence of former LSK, president, and of course, we are still seeing quite a number of young leaders and even old leaders joining this particular movement. What are your views? Are you seeing a possibility where the opposition is growing? And how is this going to strengthen this
Well,
particular movement?
before
Msimamo.
I dive in, kind of allow me before I dive in on it, let me wacha ni receive call fulani hapa ni ya muhimu zaidi kindly, and then I'll come back for the question kindly. Bear with me.
It's okay. It's
Allow
okay.
me
And
kwa sababu nikiacha, yeah.
it's okay, but Msimamo. Let me just give my view on that first as I wait for Msimamo. And to our viewers, anyone who wants to give their views, I have shared a link at the comment section. You can just click the link, it will direct you to the studio, and possibly you can also come and give us your views. Let me just highlight the link. It is over there at the comment section. Kindly just click it, it will direct you to the studio, and I'll give you a chance to also you give us your view. Paul here is saying the Linda Mwananchi group have created a vibrant political movement. And of course, that is the discussion that is out there. And of course, what people are asking is with the introduction or the stepping in of Murang'a governor, Irungu Kang'ata. Irungu Kang'ata is one of the most or the best performing governors in the Republic of Kenya. And he has always been rated as the best. He has, again, so many times, he's not been seen doing a lot of politics. The other day, remember, he has always been known as a very strategic politician in the Republic of Kenya. You remember the other time he was a Jubilee member. And, when he saw that things were not really working within Jubilee, he did a letter to the then President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And of course, the letter was directed to the president, and he gave reasons why he felt that things were not really working within Jubilee. And he decided to join the UDA team, even though he was seen as one of those, top politicians within the Jubilee then. He managed to secure his term, his position as the governor of Murang'a. And this time round, he's also done another letter to the president reminding him that things are not well, things are not working out. And the other time, we saw him coming out and, giving a clarification of what he felt, or was it what he thought was not really working out within that particular movement. And, it was a surprise to so many people seeing him joining these young brands of leaders who came out to give their views and of course to seek the support of the people. And that is part of what people are asking with him joining this particular movement. Linda Mwananchi team has politically gained a very strong leader, a leader who is going to add a lot of value to that particular movement. And that then brings, again, the discussion that people have been having is the Mount Kenya leaving the Ruto camp. And from what we are seeing, uh, you know, top powerful leaders, the likes of Irungu Kang'ata, joining the opposition is an added advantage to the opposition. Irungu Kang'ata is one of those leaders that even if they come with independent, probably they will still make sense to their voters. Reason being, they have had the opportunity and they have performed well within the frameworks of what they were given. That then again brings the issue of will the Mount Kenya voters support the president? Currently, as what we are seeing a serious division where Rigathi Gachagua has quite a number of supporters from that area in his docket. On the other hand, we're also seeing the president is still having quite a number, including Kimani Ichung'wah, who is from Kikuyu constituency. Also, with quite a number of governors, including Governor Waiguru and others. So the question is, will the president manage to win the voters of Mount Kenya region, or what is it that is going to how is it going to turn out come 2027? Those are some of the questions that people are asking. Again, we also saw the presence of Faith Odhiambo, who is also a young, vibrant leader. The other day, she was a leader at the LSK. She was the president of LSK at a time when, Kenya underwent quite a lot. The issues of young people going to the street, the many times that she stood up or she stepped up, to fight for the rights of the people of Kenya, to fight for the rights of the young people, more so during the period of June 24th demonstration, a demonstration that caught the world, a demonstration that ended up in the parliament, the invasion of the parliament. She's one of those leaders who was always on the move, either at court representing the accused or at the holding press to give clarification on how people's rights are supposed to be defended. Those are some of the people who decided to join this particular movement of Linda Mwananchi. So ours as a people is, we are waiting to see what exactly, how productive are they going to be in this particular movement, and how consistent are they going to be together with the few or the many supporters that they currently have. How are they going to transition into votes or possible votes? Those are what Kenyans are asking or waiting to see as we move forward. We also see quite a huge reception where the multiple rally points, we saw what we call a multiple reception. And I can say that the opposition is spreading its wings, testing its strength across the counties. Linda Mwananchi has walked or has gone to quite a number of counties. Today being in Thika, which is part of Kiambu. The other day, they've been moving around. We are also seeing the other opposition team led by Rigathi Gachagua and Kalonzo. They were also in the western part. We'll get into that in a few. And let me just first dwell on the Linda Mwananchi team. So the message here is clear. Unity is the weapon, and the people are the battlefield for them. And, when Murang'a governor stood up, he gave his speech and he said that for them to succeed, for the opposition to succeed, for them to ensure that they win in the coming general election, they only have one way to do it, that is joining hands. And, he came and said that they have to look for Wamunyoro, that is Rigathi Gachagua, in that particular movement, or they have to join hands, which is, in politics, it is, of course, a very productive thing, and it's going to mean a lot in that particular movement. So I can say that the joining of Murang'a governor and his statement coming clear, saying that they need to join hands together with Wamunyoro and others, it is a calculated move. And of course, it is the only way forward for the oppositions to ensure that they manage to capture the elections of 2027. Brother Benson, are you in?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe you can say hi to our viewers, and then possibly you can give us your view on the rally that happened in Thika, where we saw Murang'a governor and Faith joining the Linda Mwananchi team?
Okay, I would start by saying that the rally was very successful, uh, and I think Pornlin Joroge was the host, and she was behind all the organization of the rally, if I'm not wrong. But there are quite a number of few things that I picked from that rally. One of them being the absence of Caleb Amisi. And you are aware that of late, Caleb Amisi has been sending quite different signal, especially reading from a different script. At some point, he said that he is building up a movement that will come and confront the president, where he was suggesting that their main aim, the likes of Sifuna and Orengo, are deviating from Linda Wananchi view, and he said that he was saying that you can come together to remove President William Ruto and bring even somebody who is worse than President William Ruto. In other words, he was not of the opinion of joining hands with united opposition. So absence of Caleb Amisi speaks a lot of volume. And remember, there's people who accusing him of being a mole, especially working for President William Ruto. So his absence also speaks volume. It means Caleb Amisi is out of Linda Mwananchi. That is one. Secondly, the presence of Kang'ata in that rally speaks volume. Remember, a few weeks or few months ago, Kang'ata came out clearly and said that he's not going to defend his seat on UDA, but he maintained his friend with the president, and he gave his reason. And today also he was in the Linda Mwananchi. Remember, Linda Mwananchi is not a political party. Linda Mwananchi is a movement. So it's a movement that anybody can join. So maybe by Kang'ata joining he's coming to represent somebody or a particular party that he's planning to vie with in Mount Kenya. And he said that he talked with his friends Babu Owino, James Orengo, and Sifuna to look for Rigathi Gachagua. That one can tell you that maybe Kang'ata at some point will be vying with the DCP, because there was no need for him, especially to name Rigathi Gachagua so for Babu Owino and the rest to look for Rigathi Gachagua. That one would tell something. Another issue that also has come out of Linda Mwananchi in Thika is the issue of Babu Owino and Sifuna. They've talked of one thing about joining hands together with the united opposition, so that can make it quite much easy for them to win against President William Ruto. So that is also something that I pick. Orengo also, if you listen to Orengo's speech, he talked about he being today, the rally of today, especially him being in Thika, is the best days of his life, bearing in mind that he gave some chronology. He was there with Kibaki, he was there, or with other leaders, including Paul Muite, and he talked of movement. Remember, Orengo did not mention anything about the opposition. He talks about movement because the Linda Mwananchi is loved in the country. So it talks about movement. So in other words, if you listen to Orengo's speech, I think he was also responding to Caleb Amisi, because like Caleb Amisi is all about the positions. Who is going to run for president? He's pushing for presidency, and you know so that is something that also I picked from there. I don't know, but I saw somebody like Dan Manzo, the senator from Wiper, and I would say that that is also somebody that might have been sent by Kalonzo Musyoka, especially to scout for them joining or they are joining there, and maybe either way, each party joining. So to me, they had a very successful rally, I would say. And if you're very keen, also, there are quite a number of people who are also joined, including Faith. And you'd ask yourself, why would Faith join the Linda Mwananchi team? And you remember, this is the first time that Faith is coming onto a political field. I don't know whether she will be able to navigate the political heat, especially, you know how vulgar our politics is, very cruel. And will she be, or and what position is she looking for? Is she looking for any position in Nairobi? And what position could that one be? And if indeed what people are speculating that Faith is looking for, then it means that Sifuna uh, has been placed on the higher ticket, especially in Linda Mwananchi, because they say that Faith might be going for the Nairobi senator. So what does that one mean if she's in Linda Mwananchi? Maybe there's a talk within Linda Mwananchi that Sifuna might be in the cards, and this can be this can be uh, said like that due to the fact that Sifuna tend to be the the franchise the franchise of Lelinda Mwananchi, like, is the brand name, like, if Sifuna is there, people see him as the Linda Mwananchi. So those are the observations that I make, but yes, so that is what I can say.
Okay, thank you so much uh, for finding time, of course, to come and give us your views. You started here with Bwana Msimamo, but you said he was caught up with something. So
Mm,
I hope he'll be coming back in a few.
yeah.
Yeah, so just like I was saying, what is your view on the reception, and what does it, are they spreading their wings? Are they testing their strength across the counties? And again, them talking about the unity as the weapon and the people as the battlefield. Are Kenyans embracing this unity, or is it just a skeptical or recycled promises? Because we've seen a lot of them, especially in these oppositions. They are talking of unity, and they acknowledge the fact that they cannot face the president anyhowly without having that particular unity. What are your views? And with the joining or the signing of these new leaders, how positive is it to them?
I think both the Linda Mwananchi and the United Opposition knows very well whom they are dealing with. One thing that you have to uh, you'll have to agree with me is that when it comes to politics of Kenya, especially right now, President William Ruto, he's a very aggressive politician, and he knows what to do, and he knows on how to cut deals on the political circle. Especially look at what is happening in Western Kenya. Through Farouk Kibet, they were promising that in 2032, Wetangula will be the Wetangula would be the vice president. Does it really make sense in terms of hedge? Where will Kindiki be? The same thing narrative is being sold to, especially maybe the Luo brothers and also to the coastal people. So President William Ruto has a way in which he can woo people, and his political uh, 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 his political art, And when it comes to promising, President William Ruto can promise anything. The other day I saw he promised, what did he promise, that he said that the boat or somewhere that will connect and what. So the one thing that they have to work for is how can they forge that unity, and how can they make sure that they forge that unity. They shelve their ambitions, you know how can they shelve their ambitions? One, come up with strategy, or come up with the mechanism or a method that is going to benefit them all. in terms of their negotiation, because one thing that we have to agree is that all these people, they are fighting for positions. It's not about saving Kenyan people, because those Kenyan people cannot be saved, or the challenges that are facing Kenyans can be challenged by not getting those positions. They're looking at those positions first, and those positions are going to serve their interest. But above all, they should unify. They get that unity so that they can confront the president. And they also know very well that when they do their polls, especially their internal polls within Linda Mwananchi and United Oppositions, they know where they are weak, and they know where president is weak, and they know what president have at his own disposal, that if president employ that, then they cannot win. So that unity is very, very much needed for them if they are sure that they want to make President William Ruto one term. Without that, I don't think they can beat the president.
Okay, thank you so much. And Simamo, thank you for finding time to come back. I don't know whether you had my questions, but more of it, of course, was all about the Linda Mwananchi team that was in Thika, and the signing of new leaders like Irungu Kang'ata, the governor of Murang'a, LSK former president Faith Odhiambo, and the good reception they got in Thika. What are your views, and politically, what message are they sending, and how is it beneficial to the opposition? Msimamo.
Asante ndugu yangu na ndugu yangu Ben. Kiukweli katika swali lako ni kwamba nitalijibu katika namna. Kwanza ni waiwie radhi kwa kola. Kwa hiyo nitajibu hivi. Hiyo ni faida kwa United Opposition kwa sababu United Opposition na Linda Mwananchi, lengo lao, mawazo yao ni mamoja. So naweza nikasema kwa kiasi kikubwa ni nguvu kazi imeongezeka pale, lakini kikubwa zaidi haswa katika mrengo wa Linda Mwananchi, basi pia wamefanya jambo la maana kwamba at least wanaanza kuingia haswa mashinani, kwa sababu tulipoanza Linda Mwananchi, ilipoanza hii vuguvugu la Linda Mwananchi, wengi haswa waliona kwamba halina mwisho wake, lakini sasa hivi ndo linaanza kuonyesha sasa yale makali yake, kwamba lina mipango ya kuweza kuingia kila mahali, kuona kwamba pia inatafuta kuungwa mkono upande ule. Nafikiri hatua inayokuja basi pia ni ya kutafutana na wajumbe vile vile, kama maybe wataweza kukubalisha na kuwa chama, ama kama haswa huu muungano utaweza kujiunga haswa kwa vyama vingine, kwa sababu ndio paliposalia. Lakini kwa kweli pia ni ile tafsira kwamba haswa viongozi hawa walinda mwananchi wana upenzi gani haswa kimkudhari katika taifa. Basi ukiangalia haswa katika rali zao zile ambazo wameweza kufanya kwenye taifa letu, ikiwemo Kisumu, ikiwemo Mombasa, ikiwemo kila mahali, unagundua fika kwamba kwa kila siku ya Mungu basi upenzi kwa wananchi unaongezeka. Kwa hivyo hili la Irungu, Mheshimiwa Irungu Kang'ata kujiunga hapa, naweza nikasema ni ile kwamba viona kwamba Linda Mwananchi inakuja kwa kasi mno akuweza kuteka umati. Yaani kwa kweli imevaa viatu vya Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, jinsi ambavyo ODM ilivyokuwa inapendwa yenyewe automatically tu. Yaani ODM ilipendwa automatically tu, yaani ikawa yani inatangaza na ya mengine. So ni kama hii sasa, hii nguvu hii sasa ya Linda Mwananchi ndio kama vile kwamba inapendwa tu misimamo ya hawa viongozi wakiwemo Babu, Mheshimiwa Orengo, lakini vile vile haswa kiongozi ambaye amekuwa kama malaika fulani ameshuka haswa hafla from nowhere. Watu hawakumtegemea kwamba labda atafika katika hiyo ngazi. Amekuwa na kupendwa zaidi Edwin Sifuna, kiasi kwamba inaleta shangwe. Kwa hiyo kwa mimi it's a positive kwa linda mwananchi, but at the same time pia kwa linda kwa opposition, kwa sababu kile ambacho wanakilenga United Opposition ni sawa sana linda mwananchi. So I do believe ule mwisho kwamba ni njia tu hizi zote, lakini mwisho siku watarudi pamoja, jambo ambalo naliunga mkono, kwa sababu kakaangu hapa amenizungumzia kidogo kwamba ufanisi na kufanikiwa kwa haswa United Opposition linda mwananchi basi ni kwa kurudi pamoja tu. Sisi tutasimamisha one presidential candidate ambaye ita face to face haswa na government. So by doing that, nafikiri to me it's a plus. Hapo it's a plus kwa sababu wakigawana hizi kura, kama pengine kutakuwa na mgawanyiko, Kalonzo asimame hapa, Sifuna asimame hapa, Matiang'i asimame hapa, Mheshimiwa Gachagua asimame hapa mfano, unaona, and then zile kura zitakuwa zimegawika kiasi kwamba hazitakuwa zinaleta ile nguvu ile ambayo itakuwa na mmoja kuweza kumng'oa mamlakani so kiongozi aliyopo. So kwa ufanisi wao basi ni kwa kuungana na kuleta one presidential candidate na kutosheka na then kuhakikisha kwamba wanamuuza sasa kwa pamoja kwa wakati ambao wameweza kubakia, basi kisha mwisho wa siku tutamuona mbivu na mbichi itakalojiri 2027. Unaona, lakini kwa kweli nikijibu swali lako ama nikichangia sehemu ile ambayo umezungumza, kimtazamo wangu kwangu ni plus kwa linda mwananchi, kwa sababu sasa hivi imekuwa tishio haswa upande wa government. Kwa kweli naweza nikasema, maana hawa mabwana wanapendwa tu kupendwa. Nimetazama huu umati ambao umejitokeza Thika, kwa kweli nikajaribu kukombana mikutano yote ambayo imeweza kufanyika, kwa still bado ni namba moja. So nashindwa mbinu kwa kweli, mkoba huu ulikuwa na mzee Joshua Sifuna. Hilo ni swali mtu nimejiuliza, kwa sababu uwezo huo ulikuwa na mheshimiwa Raila Odinga wa kuweza kuteka watu namna hii. Labda pengine hii kaa na mzee, mwisho wa siku unaambiwa mzee, kidogo hapa, hebu maliza hii kikombe ya uji nimebakisha hapa, na wewe alafu tu unapata baraka hizo hizo, unaona. So for real it's a great plus for linda mwananchi. Nikimalizia na kwa kweli wanakuja vizuri kwa kweli, wanakubalika, na uzuri wa kiongozi ni kukubalika, na kukubalika ni kusimama kwa niaba ya wale ambao unawaongoza. Kwa hiyo nitaachia pale, ndugu yangu, back to you. Asante.
Thank you Mr. Bwana Msimamo. And I just want to move to the next, where we saw Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene and others. They were in another corner. They held their rallies over there. They spoke of plans of government, of governance, and of course development strategies. It was a show of strength again, a reminder that opposition is not just single voice, but a chorus of competing visions. So my question to you is, if you followed this rally again, the Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo team in Western, they are all together in one bracket called opposition, together with the Linda Mwananchi. Their continued, movement around the country, asking for assistance from the people and support. What are your views on it? Are we seeing a focused, strong opposition that is coming out to challenge the government? And again, them criticizing the government in power and saying that the government first is not accountable to what is happening, that the issues of corruption is too much within the government. They also talked about the issue of fuel, saying that the reduction is not a reflective of what the government is supposed to be doing, and that the small reduction by the EPRA cannot in any way change the lives of the people of Kenya positively. And we also saw Atwoli giving his comment saying that he was dismissing Malala as a nobody in Kakamega, insisting that he adds nothing to Gachagua or to the opposition camp, that they should wait for 2027. They will see a according to Atwoli, saying they will see what they've never seen in 2027 in Kakamega. So my question to you is, which, with these agendas of the opposition and the words of this particular other leaders like Atwoli, do personal attacks weaken or energizes the political movement? You can give us your view on that. And again, what are the plans according to what Kenyans expect to see from this particular opposition leaders, that is the likes of Kalonzo, Eugene, Gachagua, and the team, and their movement, planned movement across the country? You can give us your view on that as well.
Leo simu zinaniingilia wazee, kiasi tu. Coming back for that, coming.
Umesemaje? Msimamo? Okay, allow me to acknowledge the presence of Brenda at the comment section. Thank you so much, Brenda, for finding time to join us as well. We really appreciate your time. Allow me to appreciate Leo Nyabaya for finding time, and of course for liking our channel. We really appreciate. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. Msimamo, are you there? Okay, as Msimamo, as we wait for Msimamo to come, just to give my views on what I saw about the comments of Mr. Twoli. He was dismissing Malala, who is seeking for gubernatorial position in Kakamega, and of course he is the deputy party leader of BCP, and he was just giving his views on what he think about Malala, saying that Malala should not lie to the position, that he will add something positive to the opposition side. I saw him saying that Malala is a small boy or a small person in the politics of Western, and that he should not lie, and they should not also believe in him that there's something positive politically is going to add. I saw him as well saying that in 2027, the opposition should wait and see, that the people they trust in the Western region cannot and will not deliver to them. Those were some of the comments of, Honorable Atwali. The issue of the rising goon culture, where we saw the position as one of the rise of political goons, hired muscles and unleashed to intimidate. The recent attack on a school bus was a chilling reminder that politics is spilling into everyday's life. Not just that, we also saw the attack of All Saints Cathedral here in Nairobi, where goons came and interrupted the ongoing meeting. After that, they went to the street, along the roads. They also started robbing and snatching very valuable items from the people who are walking. And the question that people are asking is, what are the role of the police, the interior docket? What are they doing? There's a high rise of goodism within the republic, and it is a threat to the security of the nation. So there has been calls. We saw calls from other leaders, like Oli Sapit, calls for the resignation of Murkomen, where we saw the Archbishop Sapit called for accountability after the attack of All Saints. He demanded Murkomen and DCI Amin to resign. It was a bold call, a reminder that even religious leaders are demanding responsibility and accountability. And so we circle back to the bigger picture. Should leaders resign when institutions fail? That should be part of the question that Kenyans are asking. And the answer is, of course, yes. Whenever you've been given a docket and it is failing, you cannot oversee it, the best thing is resigning. I think Murkomen has been the worst ever Interior Cabinet Secretary, because under his reign, we've seen a lot. We've seen goonism, we've seen killings, we've seen abductions, we've seen lack of respect to the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, lack of adherence to the laws and orders of the country. It is so unfair, it is so bad, and it is a bad precedent to the Republic of Kenya and to people who allow their arms here in Kenya. Not just that, I was actually looking at what was happening in. There's a documentary being done by KTN, and they are speaking of the illegal issuance of ID within the Republic of Kenya, something that Kenyans have cried about. We've seen activists speaking about it. And you find that a Somali person would be given ID, and you find that they already have existing ID from Somalia, even passport. They come to Kenya, they change their names, they change their date of birth, and almost everything. And they are issued with ID and passport of the Republic of Kenya. I think that is a serious threat to the Republic of Kenya and its security. And if the president did this or is giving such instructions just because of 2027 and the election that is coming, I think it is not right, because one day it will come to haunt the Republic of Kenya. Decisions similar to the ones we are seeing are not right, because it will bring problems to Kenya. We've seen Kenyans and activists also crying about the airstrip that is being built in Imenti, that is within the forest of Meru, even though the court had declared that they should stop. Everything is still going on. Those are some of the things that Kenyans are asking about. Why is the executive not respecting the judiciary? Economy and the fuel prices. We saw April announce a slight reduction in fuel prices. Relief, yes, but only slight. For many Kenyans, the drop barely scratches the surface of daily struggles. And as Kenyans count coins, the president counts air miles. We've seen him moving around everywhere. And today, he defended his foreign trips, calling them productive for Kenya. But many Kenyans see this as wasteful, draining resources while local problems remain unsolved. And as the president defends himself, the church is raising its own voice. The question would be, do you see value in presidential trips abroad? That is part of the question that people are asking. And again, I would like to partly close or give my final remarks. From Thika rallies to Kakamega insults, from court battles to presidential travel, Kenya's politics is alive with tension and possibility. The question is not whether change is coming, but what kind of change it will be. Those would be my last remarks for this particular conversation that we had today. And allow me to just appreciate everyone who joined us, including Paul Kisiangas, Judith, and Brenda. Thank you so much for finding time to join us this evening. We really appreciate your presence, and of course, just coming out to give us your views. I want to remind you that over here we do say that your opinion counts. This is Brother Benson Media. We're also live on our sister channel, Kikao na Sauti. Again, we do say that your opinion counts. Thank you so much, everyone who joined. We appreciate. Thank you, Lane Nyarjadolo, for also finding time to be with us or to join us. And today we've been giving our views on Murang'a Governor Irungu Kang'ata joins Sifuna, Babu, Orengo, faith in opposition, and I'll just give a summary of what we've we have discussed, where we did start with the Linda Mwananchi rally in Thika, where the Thika rally was more than just another gathering. It was a statement. Murang'a governor stepped forward, pledging his weight to the support of this movement. His words carried the promise of fresh energy and regional influence. We saw Faith, the former LSK president, joined in, a powerful symbol that the legal fraternity is not just watching from the sideline, but stepping into the arena. Then came the conversion moment. Sifuna, Babu, Orengo, and the entire team of these seasoned politicians standing shoulder to shoulder. It was unity on display. But unity is not just about leaders on stage, it's about the people in the crowd. And so the question we're asking is, does unity across diverse leaders strengthen opposition's credibility? That is part of the question that we have been asking. So on the next one, we saw the unity and the rally point, where multiple rally points, multiple reception, the opposition is spreading its wings across the republic. They're also testing their strength across the different counties. The message that they're carrying is clear. Unity is the weapon and the people are the battlefield. But while one camp rallies, another camp is not sitting idle. We saw the other camp again in the Western region. Are Kenyans, the question that is then coming from people is, are Kenyans embracing this unity, or are they skeptical? Are they skeptical of recycled promises? And the other thing that we've given our views on is the rival rally, where Gachagua, Kalonzo, and Eugene, in another corner, Gachagua, Kalonzo, Eugene held their own rally. They spoke of plans of governance, of development strategies. It was a show of strength, a reminder that Kenya's opposition is not a single voice, but a chorus of competing visions. And when visions clash, words often turn sharp. The question there was, which team's agenda feels more realistic to you within the opposition or within the government? We also saw or have given our views on Atwoli versus Malala, where Atwoli did not mince his words. He dismissed Malala as a nobody in Kakamega, insisting he adds nothing to Gashagua's camp. This was more than an insult. It was a public undermining of credibility. But beyond insults, a darker trend is emerging. Do personal attacks weaken or energizes political movement? In Kenya, we've seen them energizing political movement. The rising of the goon culture. The opposition, we saw them warning that the rise of political goon hired muscles unleashed to intimidate is getting too much. The recent attack on the school bus was a reminder. Not just that, we also saw the other one in All Saints Cathedral. And while the violence grew, development projects face their own battles. Is Kenya sliding into dangerous political thuggery? That is part of the question that Kenyans are asking about the goons. And of course, the issue of fuel, where EPRA announced a slight reduction in fuel prices, but Kenyans are still struggling. And they're saying that, does a small drop in fuel prices change their daily life? Many of them are saying no. And then the issue of the president's travel, where President Ruto defended his foreign trip, calling them productive for Kenya. But many Kenyans see it as a wasteful, draining resources, while local problems remain unsolved. Do you see value in President Ruto's consistent travels? And Mr. Babu, I'll give you a chance. You dropped again when I asked your question. I don't know whether you can give us your view on part of what I've read, maybe before I give to Brother Benson again.
Poleni ndugu zangu, na simu hapa, kuna maneno ya muhimu ambako kwa sasa hivi ni parabezi kidogo, lazima unakuta nimeingia mara nimetoka because of those calls. So I'm sorry for your confusion kidogo, si kawaida yangu hata mnajua. So for him, mimi nitachangia kidogo ili kusudi nimpe kaka hapa naye pia. Ulikuwa umeniuliza awali kabla nitimuliwe kwamba labda pengine unaonaje haswa mipango ya United Opposition inaelekea kuliko ama elekee kuliko, lakini vile vile kwa umeniuliza swali la Mheshimiwa Toli kwamba kauli zake na msimamo yake na jinsi anavyozungumza kuhusiana na masuala mazima nadhani na baadhi tu mingine ambayo utanikumbusha. So kiufupi ni kwamba haswa nimejaribu kuongelea tu ile ya Western ambayo imeongozwa na haswa timu ya United Opposition akiwemo haswa kiongozi Gachagua na wengine. Kwa kweli hapa nilikuwa kama wanapishana vijiti, wanapishana vijiti. Linda mwananchi na linda not linda ground but na United Opposition kwamba hawa wameingia huku hawa wameelekea huku, inaleta shangwe kwa kweli, lakini kubwa zaidi ni hili kwamba kwa jinsi ambavyo wanafanya rali zao inanipa matumaini kwamba wanaelekea kuliko, despite kwamba tulikuwa na wasiwasi na Mheshimiwa Gachagua na impeachment na jinsi alivyokuwa ametuahidi kwamba hakutakuwa na hilo basi atakuwa ndani pale siku 45 kwanza akijadili, lakini nafikiri hili ameweza kuona kwamba halina tija mno, litamwacha kwamba huu moto uzime. So ameamua awacha tu, badala ya hili likizo niingie tu mazima na wenzangu kuona kwamba kwamba tunaliendeleza hili ambalo tumeweza kuliamini ni kwamba lina tija kwa ajili ya taifa. So nadhani hilo limenikosha kidogo moyoni. For instance tukiangalia kama jana ile alipopangua kauli zile za both ya government na response zile, unakuta kwamba kuna ukomavu kwa sababu tunahitaji huo moto usizime, haswa wa United Opposition wakitaka kufaulu kama tulivyotangulia kusema hapa. Lakini pia tuangalie katika undani wa umoja sasa ule ambao upo, je, haswa unaelekea kuliko? Maybe kwa sasa hivi naweza nikasema ni mapema mno kujadili lile, kwa sababu mwisho wa siku wanasiasa wa hawa napotandika sipo walalapo. Kwa hiyo tuna imani kwamba mimi na imani kwamba bado hawatafanya makosa na kuisahau ahadi yao kwetu kama wananchi kwamba watasimamisha mgombezi mmoja. Licha ya kila mtu kutaka iona nyadhifa, basi watagombesha mgombezi mmoja na watamuunga mkono. Nadhani watailieka hilo, hakutakuwa na nyufa hizi, unaona. So wakifanya hilo kwa kweli itakuwa ni kubwa mno, lakini tukiangalia rally zote zile, nikiangalia reception ya watu na jinsi walivyo pokelewa, lakini pia tukiangalia nguvu ya Malala pia jinsi anavyochemka upande ule wa pili na masuala yake ya ugavana, lakini pia kuna the man of the match ambaye sitaweza kumsahau Bwana Salasia. So unakuta kwamba imeleta kwamba kuna ukaribisho mkubwa ambao wameweza kukaribishwa kule, yani hatujaona kwamba wanakuwa rejected. Kuna mikutano hivyo, japo kuna tofauti zenye wamesimamishwa, masuala mengine yamesimamishwa na upande ule mwingine wa pili ambao wanapingana nao, lakini kiukweli kwamba ukiangalia mkutano kwa rali nzima ile mapokezi yamekuwa mapokezi yenye tija kiupande wangu. Kwa maana hiyo hili wakiliendeleza basi itakuwa vyema zaidi, kwa sababu huko ndiko nyoyo za wananchi kuziliko, kwa sababu utakuta mikutano yao ni organic, haina ya pressure kwamba lazima ipambwe na nini tuone mbwembwe zile, haina cha mbwembwe, lakini wananchi wanajitokeza wao wenyewe. Kwa hiyo ishara wasifanye makosa ya ulafi haswa katika swala zima la cheo kimoja tu, wakati taifa linajengwa na vyeo vingi tu ambavyo vipo haswa katika kuliendeleza haswa gurudumu la uongozi wa taifa. Kwa hivyo wabaki katika misimamo hiyo, lakini kiukweli mimi itakuwa mfupi tu kwamba sijaona makosa fulani hivi, naona the way wanaenda the right trajectory. Kwa hiyo wazidi tu ule umoja, kwamba tuone Linda Mwananchi wamekuja, tumeone Mheshimiwa Matiang'i amekuja, tuone huyu amekuja kwa umoja, na waamue sasa kutoa presidential candidate. Wakituambia ni Kalonzo, basi Wakenya tutafurahikia hapo, tutasimama hapo. Wakisema ni Gachagua, wakisema ni Matiang'i, wakisema ni Sifuna, wakisema ni Natembeya, wakisema ni Eugene Wamalwa, yoyote yule ambao wanafungamana, kama wameafiki, basi wananchi watakwenda pale pale, kwa sababu tunaamini kwamba ili kuwezana haswa na mabadiliko yote, basi ni kwa umoja ule, na siku zote umoja ni nguvu, utengano ni dhaifu. Kwa hivyo nitaachia pale kaka yangu haswa nikijibu hilo. Na Mheshimiwa Toli, nikilikatia kwa haraka haraka, siku zote wanasema bamia likikomaa ama benda lile, haswa sie wakulima tunajua bamia ama benda kwa jina lingine, likikomaa haswa linazidi linashuka thamani, unaona. Lakini pia vile vile beberu pamoja na ndevu zake, ila kwa ng'ombe hana thamani. Kwa hiyo mzee wetu kweli amekaa katika haya madaraka kwa muda, nadhani yameanza kumlevya sasa hivi, kwamba yanahitaji mabadiliko na kizazi kipya ili kuona kwamba linaendelezwa, na apeane nafasi kiheshima, kuliko haswa kujiingiza maneno ambayo sometimes pia mimi nashindwa haswa kuyajadili hapa. Kwa maana hiyo si makosa yake, bali ni kwa sababu ya kulevya na kuegemea upande mmoja, kwamba yeye badala ya kuangalia kule ambao kuna wananchi. Kwa hivyo nadhani tu haya anayazungumza basi ni kwa sababu ya kwamba amekaa haswa katika madaraka for long, na nadhani katika hilo limemlevya, ndio maana anakosa haswa ile tija aliyokuwa nayo mantiki pale mwanzo, kwamba akipeta akizungumza kweli amezungumza. Nowadays anabebwa tuna hili vuguvugu na tamaa na tumbo ambazo kwa kweli linawaathiri haswa viongozi wengi. Kwa hiyo nitaachia pale ndugu yangu, asante.
Thank you so much. And I'll give Brother Benson a chance. I'd actually talked about almost everything, so I'll just give you a chance to give your views on part of what you have to say about, of course, the issue of Ole Sapit calling for resignation of Murkomen and the DCI Amin over the high rise of Gunism and the attack of All Saints. We saw President Ruto also defending his travels or movement within country to country. There's a slight reduction by the IPRA on fuel, but Kenyans are saying they're not feeling that. It is not making sense to them. Again, yeah, you can give us your views on that as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Makobura. And when it comes to, I would start with the issue of security and the rise of Gunism, especially in our cities or in our country. There are some of the things that sometimes if we do, we think that we are doing the things that are best for us, but we do not know that what we are inculcating in the society is coming to harm us. You would bear me a witness, especially after during the Gen Z protest. I think it was the second day, if not the third day, on how the goons came into play, especially, and how they terrorized people. There was a day also that there was a lot of IDs that were recovered somewhere. I don't know whether you remember that. And all these IDs were for people who were believed to have committed some terrorism, or the people who burnt those shops and get into those shops and did all the looting and all that. And we were waiting for especially the security apparatus to do something about it, but nothing happened. And there are so many incidences where we've seen, especially, remember during the protest, we'd see the Eldoret, we saw quite a number of these people who were not even carrying those clubs and walking. We've seen situation whereby the police, and this was covered by even the BBC or these international channels, whereby the police were just standing. they were doing that to see that, to take off. But like, you did not know. Now see where we've reached with this, whereby uh, any other person would think that if they want to do something or they want to disrupt something, is that like they have to use guns. Tell me who is in the right senses, because I don't believe like what happened in St. Cathedral, that these people decided just by themselves that we are not party to what is happening. you know there must be a politician somewhere, or there must be somebody somewhere who did not want this conversation to take place, you know and that's why you have to disrupt it. So the question is, if you know that, what are you hiding, or what is the fear that you have, that that you feel like the people who are discussing about the finance bill or the budget that has already been read in parliament, people are just reading and to let the people know what the consequences, because that is part of the conversation. Because the freedom of association, freedom of speech, freedom of, you know those are that's had been some of the things that have been donated by somebody somewhere who might be a politician who is not happy with what is happening. So for the longest time, Murkomen, especially the CS, people have complained about him. The same Murkomen was the person who was giving order the police to shoot. Remember that day, the other day during that he gave that. So Murkomen has really failed, especially in his docket as a CSE, and he will go down in the history as one of those CSS that have done so poorly during the regime of President William Ruto. And they are the people who are causing the president, especially. These are some of the things that is going to cause the presidency of President William Ruto, especially when it comes to security, you know, uh, especially terrorizing people, the rise of Gunism, and majority of them maybe are being used by politicians. That is one. Now, come to the issue of Atwoli. You know, somebody say that if you're a good dancer, you should know when to leave the dance floor. You know, and because each and every time, each and every generation come with their dancing style. uh, Mbekse, Gotasiti, all those they used to dance, like during the finance bill of 2024, it was Anguka Nao Kifo Kama Mende. But right now I'm seeing the Siaka Siaka. You see the dance, so you cannot dance Kufa Kama Mende, then Kufa dance Siaka Siaka, and the edge is not on your side. That is one. Another thing also with the Atwoli is somebody who secures his job. You know, I can remember vividly well when President Uhuru Kenyatta was supporting Raila Amolo Odinga, and he was on the side of Raila Amolo Odinga. How many things he said about President William Ruto, on whose hands are we safe? And lazima ukate miti, and he was the person who was seriously attacking deputy president then, that is President William Ruto, as the person who cannot be the best leader for this country, that we are not safe in his hands. I can remember that. So when today he turns around and tell Kenyans, especially like to the people who was talking about Malala not thinking of anything, you're not giving the reason why you don't think like Malala should do that. You know, you're not fighting even for the rights of the workers, because the union mostly would always fight for the right of the workers. Talk about right now when you look at the fuel that has gone slightly down, which might not have even impact. How are you fighting for the right of workers? The workers are waking up in the morning, they are going to work, majority of their money are ending up going into the transportation. How are you fighting for that? Good working conditions, salary increment. What are the laws that, those are all that we need to hear from you. Yeah, the welfare or the well-being of the workers. Yeah, even if government give some incentive to the workers, you should come out as the people who are fighting for labor workers. There are some of these labors law, these workers, they're not, some people are benefiting out of it. They are not like they're fighting for the rights of workers. because like workers have really complained so much. Look at even what was happening when the Ebola was the idea of building a quarantine, especially Ebola in the West. The people who were supposed to work there are doctors. And I know very well that they have their union as doctors, but you are the Federation of Workers, the overall, the umbrella. What were you saying? Yeah, you know, these some of these unions, as I said, some of them are to benefit, because like in areas where, or in countries whereby you have these unions, don't joke with these unions. Yeah, and majority of let's say the developed world, the union would make a statement that this time round we are not going to vote for such a person, and you find that they have like massive following and they have the influence, and they will give the reason as per why we will not vote for this person. First of all, they have to look at the well-being of the people that they are representing. Remember, the workers, their money that are being deducted, that are going to those unions. you know so Atwoli, I think Atwoli has his time is over. Leave it for the young people even to try. Let Malala try. Let the people decide. If people decide that Malala cannot be who he wants to be in the ballot, it's okay. But stop fighting these young people. So that is something that I would want to comment. Maybe if there's another thing that you want me to comment about.
Okay, thank you. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of Iho. Thank you so much for finding time to join us. And Ioya is saying, I didn't know that there is a union in Kenya. If there is, then it's a progress.
Yes,
Okay.
like we have Kenya, we have quite a number of union, but the one that Atwoli is heading seems to be like overall, because it's the one that has been there since time immemorial. The other ones that are coming, like even Kenya Federation of Workers, Doctors Union, Teachers Union, you see all those are came the other day, you know. But the one that Atwoli is having, that has been there for a long time.
Okay. Thank you. Yep. So maybe did you give us your view on president defending?
Even like, I think like represent Africa in G7, if I'm not wrong. Uh, you know, maybe how those benefits. If you're signing these deals, are we seeing improvement, especially back in the country? Yeah, and as compared to so many presidents, like if you look at Tanzania, Yoweri Museveni has never flown out. He has not fly out of the country for uh, so many years. Suluhu just did his Russia the other day. I think like if to count ever since she was made president, even after the death of Magufuli, I don't think she has made even 10 trips. uh, But president, just in a span of yesterday, she just came from the country when he had that meeting with the Samburu. I don't know Samburu people. He just did 3 countries. Tomorrow, which means president was here like he has taken almost 72 hours. Tomorrow, president will be flying out to go for G7. So you find that president takes a lot of time flying and also being on the top of the car. But do Kenyans, that's another question that you need to ask Kenyans. Do they see the benefit of president flying out and signing all this? Are they saying those? What are the benefits that Kenyans are getting? Because if you look at the money especially the expenses that president is using on those foreign trips, compared to what he brings, and you balance off that sheet, which one outweighs the other? If for instance, you're doing an investment, you are going to borrow, you are going to borrow $500 million, or like you, Makobura, you want to do a business, and you have a friend who stays in Mombasa, and you want to go borrow that money from Mombasa, and maybe the money that you are going to borrow, as compared to what you are going to use to go to Mombasa, the mode of transport that you are going to use to go to Mombasa is going to cost maybe a half of that money, or it's exactly the same amount as the money that you are going to borrow. So, and when you come back home with that money, who has gone on a loss? So are Kenya actually getting the feel of the contracts, the foreign trips that the president is doing? That is, the Kenyans will answer that. And you talked of something about the Linda Mwananchi, about it being accepted in the whole country. It is true. Linda Mwananchi tends to be gaining that traction across the board, because what would tell you that you'd look on how the people comment, especially on the comment section. People will comment, in Voi, we want you, we are in such a part of the country, we want you to be there. So I think they are creating, this is a movement that majority of people will join in the new cause. Because even if you look at Linda Wananchi on how they've engaged themselves with the people as compared to the other faction that have really now abandoned and say that they've abandoned the Linda ground, and even if you compare to what the United Opposition has done, look at how many counties have they visited. They've visited, first of all, they started with, it was in Kajiado. Then they visited Mombasa, they visited Kisumu, Vihiga, Kakamega, Mombasa, and look at how they interact with people. If you look at the United Opposition, especially, especially where Rigathi Gachagua has been like the main. Rigathi Gachagua has done so much, especially within Mount Kenya. He has also gone to Kisii with Matiang'i. But like, if you look at the Linda Mwananchi, the way they've done it, I think they've done it well. So I think they're getting that traction, especially in across the nation. And that one should even worry, especially the president and the two-term brigade, and how can we encounter, because even their messaging, when you listen to the messaging of Linda Wananchi, is quite much different with the message of United Opposition and the two-term brigade. Because you would listen to president talking about people who are very lazy, people who are Kabila and all that, and you listen to the other side also. They have way they narrate, but like the Linda Mwananchi tend to talk about the issues that are people based. So I think they're doing best, but like time will tell, when time comes.
Okay, thank you so much, and I think we've tackled everything, unless Msimamo kama uko na la kuongeza. Na Msimamo?
By the way, Makubura, I just received information. There's a fire at Kisumu bus park. I don't know. For those who are coming from Kisumu, you can confirm if there's a fire at the Kisumu bus park.
Okay. Yeah, we will verify that in a few. Msimamo?
Asante ndugu yangu, sina pa kuongeza hapa kwa sababu kila alichozungumza kaka ni vile vile tu. Swala la toweli nimezungumza ni bamia, kila lilivyokomaa linashuka utamu, ndo kama hivyo. Lakini vile vile anajisahau kwamba yeye ni beberu tu, pamoja na ndevu zikiwa hapa, lakini kwa ng'ombe ana thamani. Anamaanisha hivyo kwamba yeye analilia tumbo lake, lakini ukija kwa wale ambao ni walengwa, ambao ni wafanyikazi wale wengi ambao wanaumizwa na payslip, basi kwa nyoyo zao itakuwa hana thamani, hayana wazungumza. Ukileta katika masuala ya siasa, kwa kweli hajawasandia haki wale ambao ni wafanyikazi ambao na uongozi. So wangestiki kwanza na hilo before aanze kuangalia hesabu ya Malala ambaye ni kijana mdogo anayeanza kutoka chipukizi, ambaye sio angepewa hiyo mandate na hiyo docket alionayo akaiendeleza, but yeye kaganda kama gundi akitafutana tu na maslahi yake na wingi wa usharobaro. So nitaachia hapo. La kuongeza lingine pia ni hivyo ambavyo ndugu yangu amezungumza, kwa kweli aswa Linda Mwananchi inakuja kwa kasi nyingine, na hii imetangulia kusema kwamba hii move tulikikumbuka Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, basi tunajikumbusha katika hii movement. Kwa kweli hii ina spirit ya Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga. So nilitaka kuongezea hapo pekee yake, ulikuwa kuna swali. Asante.
Okay, thank you so much, Msimamo. I think we'll end at that point. Allow me to appreciate everyone who joined us this evening, and just remind you that over here we do say that your opinion counts. Thank you everyone who commented, who participated by giving us their views. Thank you so much. If you're watching from Brother Benson Media, kindly like and subscribe. If you're watching from our sister channel, Kikao na Sauti, like and subscribe as well, and we will really appreciate. Thank you so much. I want to take this opportunity to wish you all a blessed morning, blessed afternoon, blessed evening, a blessed night from wherever you're watching us from. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you again tomorrow. Bye bye for today.